I feel like fast food is crazy, crazy, crazy expensive now. It's so expensive now. I don't even want to go anymore.
There's been a lot of talk online and in the news about how much fast food prices have gone up over the recent years.
Ridiculous.
Once home to the dollar menu, prices at the Golden Arches leaving a bad taste in the mouth of consumers
Look
who
at that,
just want value.
$10.
Some restaurants are continuing with price hikes, while others are getting desperate with attempts to offer more deals in hopes of increasing traffic. Now, we all know inflation has been rampant since the beginning of 2020 when the pandemic happened.
This is nuts.
Grocery prices, in some cases, are falling. Fast food prices are rising, and these CEOs, they know it.
But what's really going on here? I mean, are fast food companies trying to pull a fast one on us, price gouging under the cover of inflation?
Fast food places in general, y'all better watch your goddamn ass.
Is this just plain old corporate greed?
Who told y'all was that good to be charging that much for y'all food?
Or is there more to this story?
Fast food used to mean inexpensive.
Going viral,
Don't waste
the Big
your
Mac
money.
meal priced at $18 at a Connecticut rest stop.
Oh my
Wikipedia
God.
defines price gouging as a pejorative term
Fast
used
food
to refer
blows?
to the
Yeah.
practice of increasing the prices
Seems
of
that
goods,
way.
services, or commodities to a level much higher than is considered reasonable or fair by
Yeah.
some. This commonly applies to the price increases of basic necessities after natural disasters. Usually this event occurs after a demand or supply shock, like, say, a global
COVID.
pandemic.
Yeah.
Harvard Business School says there's no rule for what qualifies as price gouging, but it's not an uncommon occurrence. For example, EpiPen costs and Uber price surges are both examples of price increases that have been considered unfair. But what's the difference
I think this is completely a total, like, you cannot compare using a Uber app to insulin or like medical supplies. These are two totally different things.
between price gouging and inflation? While price gouging is often the result of a business
Life-saving
decision,
device, yeah.
inflation is a general increase in the prices of goods and services over time and is directly impacted by the market. And while 40 states across the country have laws in place to ban price gouging,
See, they need to make a law that says that McDonald's can't charge more than $3 for a hamburger. That's the problem. Like, it's ridiculous. And if you buy a fast food meal, it can't be more than like $15.
there's
Zach, come on.
currently
No,
no federal
really?
price gouging prohibition.
Come on.
And this makes it a difficult thing to enforce
Oh, look who
because
it
so many
is.
supply chains are nationwide. And as a
Yeah.
result, states face heightened challenges when trying to protect consumers from price gouging. So in my opinion, price gouging is a rather nebulous concept. It often lacks clear-cut depictions, and it's not only a practical question, but also a moral one.
Listen, it's not immoral for McDonald's to charge a lot of money for a McDouble. It's just annoying. It's annoying and it makes me mad. That's all.
It's not just about high prices here. It's also about prices that seem disconnected from costs and the actual products themselves. So whether specific fast food companies have engaged in price gouging is up for debate. What certainly
They
isn't
have.
is how much prices have increased over the years.
Yeah.
And the real question then becomes, is it justified? Finance Buzz released a staggering report on fast food prices over the last decade,
ridiculous.
claiming McDonald's is king when it comes to
It's
price
ridiculous.
hikes over the years, citing a 100%
Yeah.
increase to their prices from 2014.
I went to Popeyes the other day and it was $21 for me. I got a 4-piece tenders meal, a large drink with large mashed potatoes and gravy and Cajun fries. $21.
To understand how we got here, let's just rewind for a second. Fast food in its early days was built on two core promises: speed and affordability. Now, with its initial success, it really started to become a symbol of American culture.
Yeah, of course.
What the food may have lacked in quality, it ultimately
cheap.
made up with cheaper prices
look.
and the convenience of getting
Look,
it
no,
quick.
no, the 6-piece. This year. This video is probably taken in like 2017. Like, I'm joking, but like this is probably taken realistically 2005. Like, I feel like this is about 2005 prices, maybe 2000. Like, yeah, it's somewhere around there. 90s? Nah, bro. Nah.
However, today,
No.
the same can't be said. It's not breaking news, but fast food is rarely fast anymore.
It's
and
not,
it's becoming pretty expensive for what the quality is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, over the last 2 decades, rising costs have hit the industry hard.
Bullshit.
Real estate prices,
Bullshit.
minimum wage
Nope, bullshit.
increases, and supply chain
Bullshit.
inefficiency.
Not in Texas. There's no minimum wage increase. It's still $7.
started driving up costs. Add to that the increase in costs of beef, chicken, potatoes, along with paper products, and suddenly the simple cheap burger wasn't so cheap to make anymore.
Fake.
These changes laid the groundwork for the price hikes that we're seeing today, but they only tell part of the story. Let's have to keep it real. It's not just the rise in costs that are part of doing business. It's also factors like increases to advertising spend, ballooning executive compensation packages, along with significant investments into technology.
Wait, and he can work remotely. So this guy doesn't even have to show up and he gets $113 million? And this isn't, oh, it's Starbucks. Yeah, of course. They probably sold, what, 50 drinks to make that much money? They need to have, see, Trump needs to get me to be like the fast food czar. Like, I'll sort this out so fast. Like, what I would do is I would go to every fast food restaurant and I would order the food and I would compare it to the photos. And if it's not the same, they get sued for false advertising and somebody from the company has to go to jail. They get to decide who it is. If they want to have the janitor go to jail, that's fine. Actually, we'll do it random. Everybody gets to draw straws, and the person that gets the short straw goes to jail. That's right. That way it's fair. And with all the executive leadership, we don't know exactly whose fault it is, so we're just going to have to guess. It's equality. Yeah, that's fair. And so that would be a good start.
Mobile apps for these companies. Oh, and of course, stock buybacks, returning billions of dollars to shareholders. But let's look at some of the numbers. Category that includes fast food.
It is.
This rose roughly 28.5% over the last 5 years. But general overall inflation rose only 24%.
COVID gave them an excuse to raise prices massively, and then they never went down. That's what happened with all these fast food restaurants.
Now, cost of doing business has increased. Profit margins at many major chains have held steady or even grown. Take McDonald's, for instance. Despite facing higher expenses, their operating margins climbed to nearly 46% in 2023.
That's insane.
Up from around 41% in 2019. Now let's look at their net profit margin.
Look at this.
It's gone up from 28% right before the pandemic hit.
28? That's disgusting.
Pattern isn't unique to McDonald's, though. Chipotle has reported record revenues fueled by menu price increases of nearly 15% over the last 2 years. In fact, during the making of this video, they just announced another 2% price increase to their menu, which brings the total number of price hikes to 7 times since 2021. Chipotle's net margin is higher now than ever before. Revenue and net income, that has also been rising steadily since the last quarter of 2020.
Chipotle, they're still growing as a business and they're opening more new stores. So their operating income is going to go up because they have more places to grow because they haven't hit a market cap yet. Whereas McDonald's hit a market cap 50 years ago. So, no, I'm not sponsored by Chipotle. I eat Chipotle at least 3 times a week. I don't want to hear this. This is bullshit. It's McDonald's and Taco Bell that are wrong. Chipotle's fine.
In some cases, the numbers suggest these companies are taking advantage of inflationary pressures to pad their profits.
100%.
Of course, fast food chains have their side of the story too. They argue
their side, which is lying and wasting people's money, and then advertising products that you look at the Taco Bell drive-thru and it looks one way. You get the product, it's not the same thing.
These price hikes are a necessity, not some evil choice.
They're using AI at the drive-thru at Taco Bell now.
Rising wages, volatile supply chains, and of course inflation as reasons why fast food just isn't as cheap as it used to be. Now, back in May of 2024, social media posts about an $18 Big Mac meal went so viral that McDonald's actually had to begin a campaign trying to debunk some of the myths that were being spread. McDonald's cites the article, quoting, "McDonald's medium fries have increased by 138% since 2019. But McDonald's claims the truth is the average price of a medium fry in 2019 was $2.29, and now in 2024, the average price is $3.29. Okay, well, the article actually says that the 138% increase is from 2014 to 20.
I knew it. I knew they were lying. See, this is it. See, they're using 2019 as a frame of reference because in 2014 it was way less. And a McFlurry, whenever they came out, it was like $1.30 or $1.70. I remember this because I asked my mom for one. She said, no, I'll only get you an ice cream cone because McFlurries are overpriced. And I cried at the McDonald's lobby. I remember this. I was like 5 years old or 4 years old or something. And this is right whenever they add McFlurries. And I was sitting there crying. It was one of the worst things that ever happened to me. And now they're $5. And the machine doesn't even work half the time.
Okay, but there are some who argue that rising wages are really the one to blame.
Lying again. That's not even true.
Claiming this trend of increased minimum wage could lead to job losses. However, the evidence suggests otherwise. Economists at the Economic Policy Institute have extensively researched this issue and found that higher wages would likely have the opposite effect, modestly stimulating consumer demand, boosting business activity, and creating job growth. Okay, but what about fast food prices? Are they rising because of higher wages?
No, that's not the reason why. Don't let them turn us against each other. No, they're doing it because they have a 40% plus operating margin.
Well, yes, but not entirely for the reasons you might think. Price increases in the fast food industry are part of a long-standing trend, not a sudden phenomenon caused by wage hikes. Because while the consumer price index for all items rose by 3.2% between April 2022 and April 2023, fast food prices surged 5.2%. Meanwhile, the cost of groceries increased by only 1% during that time. But that was then, and this is now, and fast food has been getting desperate over the last year. McDonald's has had to really try to entice customers with their nationwide $5 value meal.
This is bullshit. And any drink used to be $1 at McDonald's. So this used to be $4. So even their big deal right now used to be like in 2017, 2018, it used to be $1 cheaper and it was all the time.
And many competitors have followed suit. Burger King offered their $5.
And also, if you look at this soda here, that drink cup is a 20-ounce drink cup. So at McDonald's, there are 3 different sizes of drinks. There's small, which is a 16-ounce, or I think it's 12. And then there's a 20-ounce, which is medium. And then large is 32-ounce. And so they're showing a medium drink. And so you used to be able to also get a large drink for $1. It's 30 ounces now? No way. No, it's not. Let me read it. Those right there. This was a 32-ounce drink, and now it's 30. McDonald's changed, and now it's 30. And they doubled the price. Do you remember McDonald's drinks used to be $1? They were $1 for any size drink. So they doubled the price. They lowered the amount of soda. And they want to call this a myth.
Wendy's did a $4 meal deal, and Taco Bell launched a $3 value deal, all in an attempt to increase traffic to their stores. And even casual sit-down restaurants like Applebee's and Chili's are getting involved into this value war. Chili's 3 for Me meal deal for $10.99 has created
hear that again.
Into this value war. Chili's 3 for Me meal deal for $10.99.
That is crazy. 3 things for $10.99. Look at that. McDonald's is lying about everything. And so is Taco Bell. And Wendy's is almost as bad. KFC. I used to be able to go to KFC with my mom and we would get a 20-piece bucket. So you used to be able to get the big boys, right? I would get one and my mom would get one. And they were so big that you would have a handle on it. Remember that? And we would get the whole thing for $20. I looked at it recently. It was like $42 just for a bucket. Don't talk negatively about Taco Bell, please. Say what you want at McDonald's, but take Taco Bell out of this. I went to Taco Bell about a week ago. They didn't even ask me what kind of sauce I wanted. You used to be able to get frijoles or like pintos and cheese, and they would give you a taco shell to dip it in. And then in about 2010 or 2012, they stopped giving you the taco shell and they started charging you money for it.
And now for fast food places like McDonald's,
I remember
Burger King,
this.
and others, customers not only have to battle with higher prices, but also with the lack of convenience and quality of the food itself. Because at the end of the day, when all is said and done, infinite growth is the goal. And the fiduciary duty to shareholders comes before customers, employees, suppliers, or
What
vendors.
a bunch of dick eaters.
But it is really interesting to see how some companies simply choose to operate differently while still achieving success. Thanks so much for watching.
What a great video. But this guy, the only thing I don't like about this video is
There's been a lot of talk online.
He let them off the hook in too many ways. He didn't need to do that. Like, they should be ashamed of you. Give it a like. That's a great video. What's the fix for capitalism? Simple. You bring back the dollar menu. Like, and how does Trump not have an opinion on this? He eats as much fast food as I do. Like, how do you not, like, doesn't he notice? He's a billion. It doesn't matter. You make plenty of money. You go eat wherever you want, doesn't matter. But you don't want to go places that overcharge because you feel stupid. You feel stupid. You feel like you're getting manipulated. Like they're getting one over on you. McDonald's is like the core of America. It's like McDonald's, Coca-Cola, football, basketball, and Walmart. And that's pretty much about the $5 value meals are smaller than the old. You remember back in the day at Burger King whenever they used to put an onion ring in the top of your fries? Remember that? Who remembers that? They never do that. I don't know why people put up with this shit. It's ridiculous.